Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
An aging pile of broken bones, a raven on a tree alone.
Welcome back to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. I'm Barbara Hardt.
And I'm Doug Armitage. And now for this week's news.
Our intro music is performed by local musician Tom Hall. Tom Hall has been playing music for over 20 years and performing live music for the last 10 years. He is included on a local album with the Witness Protection Program, also featuring Eric Richard Stone, Doug Armitage, and Michael Sivkovic.
This episode is brought to you by Wild Bear Nature Center, Very Nice Brewing Company, Mountain Man Outdoor Store, Hardt's Backhoe, Brightwood Music, and of course, the Mountaineer newspaper.
These canyons hold their secrets dear. Time will tell the story here. In sand and stone.
For our first story, Patrice LeBlanc talks with Lola and Hazel Kelley about singing during a pandemic. Go for it, Patrice.
Hello, I am Patrice LeBlanc, and I am here with Hazel and Lola Kelley, and we're going to talk about singing today. So first off, why don't you just introduce yourself to our listeners here? Can you tell us what your name is, your age, what school you go to, and what grade that you're in?
Okay. I'm Hazel Kelley. I'm in 7th grade. I go to Netherland Middle Senior High School. And I'm Lola Kelley. I'm in 7th grade. I'm 12. I go to Netherland Middle Senior High School.
Great. And how long have you been singing?
For over a year now. We've been singing in general. We've always loved singing. We've always wanted to be in musicals and acting. And I think our first musical was when we were maybe 8.
Okay. And what kind of styles of music do you like to sing?
I like musical theater, mainly musical theater. Sometimes we do pop music, but it's mainly musical theater.
Okay, beautiful. Can you name any of your past performances that you've done and maybe some of the highlights of those performances?
Yeah, we were in the musical Prohibition, and that was really awesome and a unique experience because it's not a musical that's already out there. We were with the writer of the musical, Patrice LeBlanc, and it was just a really great experience for us to have. And I think meeting all the new people was my favorite part. What about you, Lola?
My favorite part was getting a new experience on stage because I hadn't really performed a show outside before that.
Okay, excellent. And have you done any other performances besides Prohibition?
Yes.
Yes, we've been. We were in kind of a children's musical, Willy Wonka, and we were also in Shrek the Musical, and that was kind of a bigger production.
We've been in a few little elementary school productions and a few little middle school productions.
Okay, thank you. Are you currently doing any productions right now?
No.
There's a fall play going on, but it contradicts with volleyball and there's no singing involved. But there's a spring musical coming up with middle schoolers and high schoolers, and anyone can audition. And we're planning on auditioning for the spring musical.
Okay, wonderful. Do you know what that musical is?
No.
They're still figuring it out. The high schoolers are a big part of it, so I think they are a huge part of choosing the musical. So, yeah, we don't know what it is yet, but we definitely want to try it out.
Okay. And what are your hopes to sing in the future? What kind of experiences would you like to have?
I would really like to get a lead in one of the high school plays, and even better, like throughout college, maybe get like into a school of like singing or that involves theater. And I know it's like kind of pretentious, but that would be really great. I would really like to have a future that involves singing and theater.
I would too. I would like to get in some sort of really big production. I know it's kind of reaching high, but still it would be really cool.
Excellent. And what kind of training do you do in acting and singing?
We take vocal lessons with Patrice LeBlanc. That was the same person who wrote the musical that we were in, Prohibition. And we do that once a week, and we try to sing and practice as much as we can, like sing different songs and work on our technique. And we're learning new things every day about singing. And I just think it's really cool that that's been able to be a thing that's part of our lives.
We're also in choir, so that helps a little bit.
Oh, very good. Have you taken any acting or dancing lessons?
We've taken dance, yes, and we're hoping to find someone who does acting lessons.
Okay, thank you. So let's talk about the pandemic. How did the pandemic affect your singing or your performing?
So we used to do vocal lessons in person, but after we couldn't do that for a bit until we figured out how we could still do them, which was over Zoom. So we do vocal lessons over Zoom, and we haven't been able to be in as many performances as we used to because of the pandemic and not being able to, be together. And, we were actually going to see a musical, but then the pandemic hit and we couldn't anymore. So that really sucked.
And so what obstacles do you feel like you have overcome due to the pandemic?
We I feel like a lot of people could have just given up on singing. And I'm not trying to sound too egotistical right now, but a lot of people could have just given up on singing and been and not done vocal lessons anymore and not try to figure out a way around the pandemic to still pursue the passion of singing and theater. And also our mom helped us, getting us into vocal lessons, and our family. And so that was really great that we got to do that, and we were trying to find as many musicals and stuff to do and looking up stuff, and we're trying to find any way we can to get involved in singing.
Yeah. It's been kind of hard though, because there's not as many resources. You can't just talk to your choir teacher because it was online. We barely even had choir, and during the pandemic it's hard to find resources and hard to talk to our friends about it. And it's hard to not be able to sing in front of an audience, to sing for other people when you're just stuck at home. But we did our best, we were practicing and we had a lot of fun still.
And also we have each other. So it's not just singing alone in a room. We have each other to sing songs with, and without each other, I don't think we would have kept singing and pursuing singing, because we just sing for each other and sing songs together with different parts and different characters. And that's really helped us as each other.
Yes, and as twins, I think that did help you quite a bit.
Yes.
Do you feel like you learned anything over the course of the year and a half with the pandemic and singing and still trying to work at your craft?
Yes, I feel like we did. I mean, we did a lot of research online for some stuff to help us learn new things. And our vocal teacher, Patrice, she helped us a lot, and we learned so much. She's really helped us throughout all this and made us just want to keep going and singing.
And the pandemic really was a challenge to overcome, and we overcame that. And I think that was really cool that we got to keep singing, and we had that privilege to do vocal lessons, and we actually had an online musical in choir, and it was called The Show Must Go Online, and it was about a musical with online students. And so even with the pandemic, we still got to do the thing we love most, which is performing and acting and singing.
Excellent. Okay. So what motivates you to sing, and what inspires you to sing?
It's Hazel, my sister. She inspires me a lot. And I like to listen to other people sing. I like to search videos of other people singing, and seeing how good they get really inspires me. And also just the joy of theater. I love to sing. It makes me happy, and it's my passion.
I love listening to music, and what got me going is probably listening to music, because like I've seen the Broadway actors and their voice sounds so clear and it's so beautiful and it just moves me, and I want to do that someday, and I want to move people with my music. And I feel like singing is just so fun, and it can be energetic, and it can be sad and soulful, and I just like love singing so much. And singers and listening to music have made me want to sing even more, and it's really fun to sing with another person with different characters acting it out. But when it's just yourself to act out all the characters, it's a challenge. But I feel like it's a fun experience. It's more fun experience to do it with someone who's really like wants to do it with you and wants to act out the different characters and has the same level of enthusiasm as you.
Yes, I agree. So you mentioned practicing. How much do you practice at your craft?
We try to practice every day, but we do vocal lessons once a week every Monday. But we try to sing every single day and practice our technique. And we sing like so many songs a day, and for fun, but also to get better. And we try to act out the songs a lot of times too. Like while we're singing and we have different characters, usually from a musical, we act out those different characters and sound like those different characters as we're singing. And it's just really fun to do that.
Okay, thank you. And one last question. If you could sum up in a word or a phrase what it feels like, the experience when you are singing, what would that word or phrase be?
It feels like I'm on another planet. It just, there's no really one word to describe how singing makes me feel. You feel like you're just out in another world. It's crazy. It's so fun, so livening. Is that a word? I don't know.
I feel like it's just like I'm up on the clouds in my own little world where everything's perfect, and we get to act out the characters. So I feel like I'm in their world and I'm feeling that emotion, and I put myself in the setting of the character or the singer, how they would be feeling. And so I feel like I'm right there, and a lot of times I just feel like I'm floating. It's so amazing, the feeling of singing. I really, 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 really enjoy it.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I am sure the mountain community is going to enjoy listening to you sing, both of you, and many more performances to come. So Hazel and Lola Kelley, thank you so much for doing this podcast.
It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That is it for today.
Thanks, Patrice.
Artists, we're looking for you. Would you like a feature story in the print edition of The Mountaineer, on our podcast, website, or social media? Interviews are completed in person with our professional journalists. We are your community newspaper and podcast. Interested? Email publisher@themountaineer.com to get on the list for upcoming editions.
Check out this week's full music listing, including where to be and what to see across the peak to peak, as well as an action-packed edition full of events, government, school news, mountain folk tales, and more. The weekly print and online edition hits the stands every Thursday at noon.
This week's Backdoor Theater movie is Shang-Chi, rated PG-13. The movie runs Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m., with a matinee on Saturday at 2 p.m.
Brightwood Music in Nederland rents all of your needed school instruments for band and orchestra for the full school year. They also rent instruments by the day, week, and month. Brightwood Music is family-owned and operated and has been a Nederland staple for more than a decade. They are located at 20 East Lakeview Drive, Unit 109 in Nederland, and can be reached at 303-258-8863. Or you can find them on Facebook at Brightwood Music.
For our second story of the podcast, here's Jamie Lammers with his interview with Jill Dreves about the upcoming Enchanted Forest. Take it away, Jamie.
My name is Jill Dreves, and I am the founder and executive director of Wild Bear Nature Center.
And for those who don't know, can you explain the mission of Wild Bear?
Well, Wild Bear is a 26-year-old organization. We inspire people of all ages to connect with nature and community through creative exploration of the outdoors. And we have a nature center with exhibits and all ways for people to explore. It's open 360 days of the year, free to the general public. And then we have all kinds of nature programs throughout the year when school is not in session for children. And we also have adult and family nature programs. And we help preserve Mud Lake. So there's 260 wild acres that Wild Bear was a key partner with Boulder County and Town of Nederland to preserve. And Wild Bear owns 5 acres where we'll be building our future nature center.
If I remember correctly as well, that new space is where you guys are going to be hosting your Enchanted Forest this year. Am I correct?
That is true. Yes, the 20th annual Enchanted Forest, which we're thrilled to be offering this outdoor event September 25th from 11 to 6 to the general public. And it takes place on our 5 acres, and we have really incredible wild animals, which are really volunteers in costumes, on the trail, and families get tours of our half-a-mile trail to meet up with maybe the bear or the mountain lion and learn about how we can more peacefully coexist with these creatures. And kids get goodies in their goodie bags, and there's live music and magical performances and crafting and discovery and fairy house building and all kinds of fun things. And it is a magical nature festival for Wild Bear, a fundraiser, but it's also extraordinarily fun. You can find that information on wildbear.org.
And you guys hosted the event last year, but through email, right?
Yeah, so we didn't, of course, have this event last year. We were all very sad, but we did do a series of videos. Creatures come out of the forest and share on our 5-minute films. It can be found on our website. You can check out some of these animals. For example, the salamander is hanging out at Mud Lake and talking about his life there. That's what we did last year, is we made a series of videos of our animals.
What has appealed to you the most about the Enchanted Forest over the last 20 years or so that you've been doing it?
Well, I think that it expresses wholly what Wild Bear is. It's a really creative expression of nature, getting people really engaged in the magic, the mystery that exists out there that often we don't think about. I love the creativity that gets inspired through that event, and people talk about it all the time. Children, when they get home, they really talk a lot about it with their families. Parents just love it. And it's really for all ages. I mean, we get people without children that come out there, and that's also exciting to me because I think that we all forget that everyone has that child within them, and it's good to be reminded of that and to feel the magic and mystery of nature. We're too addicted to electronics, and we're too busy to notice. So it is a time to just sort of stop for a minute and feel happy about the planet and our place in it.
And what do you hope that visitors take away from visiting the Enchanted Forest and from experiencing all that there is to experience there?
I think mostly they should leave with a new sense of wonder, of the forest, that when they go out into the forest, that there's just a real feeling of mystery and magic. It's really phenomenal to think about how do these animals survive without a grocery store. How do they do it through that most crucial freezing cold winter, to have these theatrical performances by our volunteers, I think really inspires a real joy of being outside, which is our mission. I think it's unique, and I know that visitors leave with that great sense of creativity from Wild Bear.
Is there anything else big you want to add about the event or the Nature Center as a whole, or anything else exciting coming up?
Yeah, well, another exciting thing that people will take away when they go to the event is they'll get to see the site for the future Nature Center, which is going to be extraordinary. We're excited because we're moving along. We have our development design completed. It's a net zero 8,500 square foot Nature Center facility that'll have opportunities for the public to engage in exhibits, but also play on the playscape and hike the half-mile trail with a guidebook and go in and hang out by the wildlife viewing window or head upstairs to the observation deck or go downstairs in a makerspace. And it's a very important project for our Boulder County community for really serving a niche in terms of helping people understand how to engage in nature and how to protect themselves, but also how to protect nature. And it also serves as an incredible, as it does right now, child care center, which is nature integrated for children to get outside and explore their backyard and feel connected to the earth. So I'm excited about that project. It's going to be an incredible resource to the region for all ages. Enchanted Forest is going to be right on the site where the building will be built. We'll have our building committee there and others that can talk about it. I hope the community comes out and really gets engaged with the future of Wild Bear and also these incredible volunteers that make everything happen at Wild Bear. It's a great place to volunteer. I'm thrilled with our, 26-year-old organization that continues to grow and thrive and serve and become more and more important to the bigger global picture of protection of the earth and climate change and all of that. Now is a great time for people to get involved in your local nature center, no matter where you live. The nature center is an opportunity really for people to get grounded, literally, and to really do a very simple, very important part in their community to really understand the backyard and to get out there, breathe some fresh air, take the chill off, all the stress we have, and engage in that very simple act of nature. Being out there, be part of nature. And our philosophy at Wild Bear is that we are nature. And we should remember that we're not something separate. That's our overarching goal. And I hope we get to see everybody at the Enchanted Forest. And I also hope that we get to see more visitors at the Nature Center as it is currently. We're located in downtown Netherlands as an interim nature center. And there's all kinds of things to do and find out where to hike and what to look for when you're outside. And we hope to see you there.
And this is a question that I just have as well, just because I know I keep messing this up in my head whenever I've volunteered at the center and people have asked me, is the center moving to the new space, or is this just going to be a whole new extra place where kids can go to Mud Lakes immediately?
Wild Bear is going to get off the cement parking lot completely and be 100% in nature. That's our goal. So we would be moving the whole operation out there. And our hope is that's fall of 2023. So it's coming up.
All right.
And it's going to be a destination point. Currently, we're in a shopping center, and I think we're, unless you're local and you know about Wild Bear, we're generally a stumble upon organization. Oh, what's this? Whereas I know when we're out there in this amazing place in a net zero building that can teach about low impact building and landscape, it'll be a destination where people will go there specifically to visit the nature center. I know our visitation and our program participation and all that we're doing is going to grow exponentially once we open that building.
Amazing.
Jamie, what a pleasure to talk to you.
It's a pleasure to talk to you as well. It always has been. For those who don't know, I've been going to the Nature Center since I was a kid. And so I love Wild Bear. I love everything you guys do. And I'm so excited for the Nature Center. I'm so excited for the Enchanted Forest. And I just think it's all going to be amazing.
Volunteering
I
at the Nature
hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I plan to.
Well, Jamie, you're the best example of once a wild bear, always a wild bear.
I really, really appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for coming on and talking about this.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jamie and Jill, for exciting information about the Enchanted Forest coming up on Saturday, September 25th. Do you have a business in the Peak to Peak region? Send us your pitch. We cover every business from Allens Park to Central City, with all of the towns and canyons in between. Email publisher@themountaineer.com to be included in an upcoming edition of our business short takes.
An aging pile of broken bones, a raven or a tree alone the way.
And that's all for this week's episode of the Mountaineer Podcast. All editions of the Mountaineer Podcast are available on our website at www.themountaineer.com and click on Podcast. And go online to catch up on more local news. I'm Doug Armitage.
And I'm Barbara Hardt. Until next time, thanks for listening.
To creep and pace, the spirit fell without a face until it was shown that it's been this way for years.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak to Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.